The grand halls of the Galactic Council were buzzing with excitement. Representatives from dozens of planets gathered, their strange shapes and colors filling the vast space. Among them was Captain Alex Carter, Earth's top diplomat. He had been sent to represent humanity in this crucial meeting, and his calm but sharp demeanor caught many eyes. But Alex was more focused on his task than on the curious looks from other species. Alex was curious about one alien in particular, the ambassador of the Xynari people, Lerava. She was known for her intelligence, wisdom, and kindness, though no human had ever met a Xynari up close. The Xynari were a mysterious race, and while they weren't enemies of Earth, they hadn't exactly been friends either. This meeting was a rare chance for humanity and the Xynari to finally connect. As Alex waited for the meeting to start, he felt a presence beside him. Turning, he found himself face to face with Lerava. She was taller than him, with a smooth blue skin tone and bright, intelligent eyes that seemed to hold countless secrets. She wore a flowing gown that shimmered under the council lights, moving as if it had a life of its own. "Captain Carter, I presume?" she asked in a soft, musical voice. Alex felt a slight shiver. There was something about her voice that was both calming and powerful. "Yes, Ambassador Lerava," Alex replied with a nod, keeping his expression professional. "It's an honor to meet you." Lerava tilted her head, studying him with those bright eyes. "The honor is mine, Captain. I've heard many things about humans. It's fascinating to finally meet one." Alex chuckled, relaxing a bit. "I suppose humans are still a bit of a mystery to the galaxy. We're still learning ourselves." They began to walk together down the grand hall, surrounded by the strange architecture and the sights of creatures from all over the galaxy. Lerava asked Alex about Earth, and he shared stories of blue skies, oceans, and cities buzzing with life. In return, Lerava spoke about her home planet, a place of stunning crystal forests and starlit skies that never fully darkened. Their conversation flowed naturally, and they were so absorbed that they didn't notice the curious glances from the other council members. The sight of a human and a Xynari chatting so casually was unusual, even unsettling for some. But Alex and Lerava were too wrapped up in each other's words to care. As they shared stories and laughs, Alex found himself feeling surprisingly comfortable. Lerava was not only intelligent, but also had a kind, gentle humor. She seemed genuinely interested in what he had to say, and her curiosity felt refreshing. For Lerava, meeting a human was just as intriguing. She found Alex's straightforwardness and humor fascinating, traits rare among her own people, who were often reserved and formal. "Captain," Lerava said with a small smile, "I never thought I'd say this, but I'm actually looking forward to working with you." Alex smiled back, sensing a hint of warmth in her words. "Same here, Ambassador. I think this could be the start of something interesting." Just then, a council member cleared his throat, signaling that the meeting was about to begin. Alex and Lerava exchanged glances, each feeling a quiet excitement. It was as if they'd both found something unexpected in each other, something that could mean more than just a diplomatic partnership. As they took their seats, Alex noticed the sideways glances and quiet whispers around them. He could almost feel the curiosity and doubt of the council members, but he didn't let it bother him. For the first time, he felt that perhaps humans and aliens weren't so different after all. Lerava caught his eye one last time, giving him a nod, a silent agreement that they would face whatever came together. And as the council session began, Alex knew that this meeting would be remembered, not just for what was discussed, but for the strange and thrilling connection between a human and a Xynari. This was just the beginning of a journey neither of them could have predicted. As the days passed, the connection between Captain Alex Carter and Ambassador Lerava only grew stronger. They met almost daily now, not just for official matters, but for long, private conversations. Their talks started in formal council rooms, but soon they began to seek out quieter spots within the vast council headquarters. They'd find hidden corners or empty hallways where they could speak freely, away from the judgmental eyes of other council members. For Alex, these moments were the highlight of each day. He had never expected to find a friend or perhaps something more in an alien. And Lerava, too, was surprised by how comfortable she felt around Alex. Though she was a respected leader among her people, she had always carried the weight of their expectations. But with Alex, she felt a freedom that was rare, as if she could truly be herself. One day, Alex and Lyrava found themselves in a quiet garden at the council headquarters. The garden was filled with strange plants from different planets, glowing flowers and twisting vines that sparkled under the artificial starlight. They sat on a bench, surrounded by soft, colorful lights, enjoying the peaceful atmosphere. "Do you miss your home?" Alex asked, his voice gentle. Lyrava looked up at the distant stars above, her bright eyes reflecting the light. "Sometimes," she admitted. "My home is very different from this. The air is lighter, the skies are always dark with stars. There's a calmness there that I miss." Alex nodded, picturing the strange beauty of her world. "I think I'd like to see it someday." Lyrava turned to him, a soft smile on her lips. "I would like that, Captain. And I would like to see Earth. I've heard so much about your blue skies and green forests." Their eyes met, and for a moment, there was a deep understanding between them. It felt as though they were no longer just two representatives from different worlds, but two friends sharing dreams and hopes. Alex felt a warmth he hadn't expected, a feeling that made him want to protect and cherish this connection. Their friendship didn't go unnoticed, though. As their meetings became more frequent, the whispers around the council grew louder. Many alien leaders were curious, some even supportive, but others saw their closeness as a threat. For them, a strong bond between a human and a Zenari was risky. If their alliance became too strong, it could shift the balance of power. But Alex and Lyrava didn't let the gossip affect them. They continued to meet, sharing stories and laughter, learning more about each other's cultures and lives. They even started discussing deeper topics, hopes for the future, dreams of peace, and the challenges they both faced. One evening, Lyrava shared a story about her people's tradition. "In Zenari culture, when two souls connect deeply, they are called starbound," she explained. "It means their fates are tied together, like stars that orbit each other across the galaxy." Alex looked at her, surprised by the beauty of the concept. "Starbound," he repeated softly. "That's poetic." Lyrava smiled. "Perhaps it's just a story, but I like to believe it's true." As their conversations grew more meaningful, both Alex and Lyrava began to realize that their friendship might be something rare and precious. It wasn't just about their duty anymore. Their connection felt personal, something they both wanted to protect. Then, one night, Alex received a message from Earth's council representative. It was a warning. He was being watched closely, and some felt his friendship with Lyrava could bring trouble. Some leaders didn't trust the Zenari, and they worried Alex was being influenced too easily. But Alex wasn't ready to end this bond. He knew that what he shared with Lyrava was important. It wasn't just about diplomacy anymore. For the first time, he felt that humans and aliens could truly understand each other, that they could share more than treaties and politics. As he read the warning, he made a decision. No matter what the council thought, he wouldn't let them break this connection. This friendship, this growing trust between him and Lyrava was worth fighting for. The next time they met, Alex didn't mention the message. He simply smiled at her, ready to continue their journey step by step. And in her returning smile, he saw the same determination. Together, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead. Their friendship was now their strength, and neither of them was willing to let it go. As time passed, Captain Alex Carter and Ambassador Lyrava's friendship deepened into something neither had anticipated. Their bond had grown beyond words or cultures, and each began to realize the truth. They were no longer just friends. They were in love, but this love was dangerous. The eyes of the entire council were on them, some viewing their connection with curiosity, others with fear and distrust. One evening, Alex and Lyrava met in the same quiet garden where they had shared so many conversations. The garden was filled with soft, glowing flowers from distant worlds, and the starlight overhead felt warm and comforting, as if it were blessing them. They walked silently, each lost in thought, yet completely aware of the other's presence. Finally, Alex stopped and looked at her, his expression serious. "Lyrava, I know this is complicated, but I have to tell you I care for you more than just as a friend. I can't ignore what I feel anymore." Lyrava's bright eyes softened, and she placed a gentle hand on his. "I feel the same, Alex. This connection between us is more than just diplomacy. You've become part of my heart." For a long moment, they simply stood there, holding hands in the soft glow of the alien garden. The world around them faded, and it was as if only they existed. Their love, unspoken for so long, now filled the space between them, strong and undeniable. But their joy was short-lived. The very next day, rumors began to spread across the council. The whispers grew louder, reaching the ears of powerful council members who saw this love as a threat to the order of the galaxy. Some believed that a union between a human and a Xenari would disrupt alliances, that it would encourage other species to form close bonds and possibly rebel against the Council's strict policies. Despite the mounting pressure, Alex and Lyrava continued to meet, finding strength in each other. They shared dreams of a future where humans and Xenari could stand together as allies, and perhaps one day as family. But with each passing day, the Council's warnings grew harsher. One evening, as they met in the garden, Alex held Lyrava close, his voice filled with frustration. Why can't they understand that love isn't a threat? We're not trying to disrupt anything. We just want to be together, Lyrava sighed, resting her head on his shoulder. Some minds are too small to understand. They fear what they can't control, and our love is something they cannot dictate. Just then, a council official approached them. His face was stern, his gaze cold as he delivered a message from the council leaders, Captain Alex Carter and Ambassador Lyrava. You are hereby forbidden from meeting in private again. If you continue to ignore this order, both Earth and Xenari will face severe consequences. As the official left, Alex felt anger boil within him. He turned to Lyrava, his jaw clenched. They can't control our feelings, Lyra. They can't make us forget this. Lyrava nodded, her eyes filled with determination. No matter what they say, Alex, I won't let them take this from us. Our love is stronger than their rules, stronger than their fears. They knew they were taking a great risk, but their love had become a force they couldn't deny. It was as if the stars themselves had brought them together, and neither of them would walk away from it. Alex and Lyrava understood that they were facing a battle, not with weapons, but with hearts and minds. Their love had become a symbol, a hope for unity that went beyond borders and species. Together, they decided to make their relationship public. It was a bold move, but they hoped that by showing the Council their true feelings, they could change some minds. They wanted the galaxy to see that love was not a weakness but a strength, a bridge that could connect even the most different of worlds. In the days that followed, Alex and Lyrava stood side by side in council meetings, their affection clear in every glance, every smile. They knew it would be a difficult road ahead, but they also knew that this love was worth fighting for. And as they faced the Council's disapproving eyes, they held on to each other, ready to shake the stars if they had to. The day of Captain Alex Carter and Ambassador Lyrava's wedding had arrived, and excitement filled the air. The council headquarters transformed into a beautiful venue, adorned with flowers from across the galaxy. Their union was not just a celebration of love, but a groundbreaking moment for the galaxy, symbolizing hope and unity between humans and Xenari. As the ceremony began, the hall was filled with guests from various species. The atmosphere buzzed with joy and anticipation. Alex stood at the front wearing a crisp uniform adorned with insignia from Earth, his heart racing with excitement. He looked towards the entrance where Lyrava would appear. She was a stunning sight, dressed in a flowing gown that shimmered with colors unseen on Earth, her long hair cascading like a waterfall of starlight. When Lyrava entered, whispers of awe filled the hall. She walked gracefully down the aisle, her bright eyes locked on Alex, and his breath caught in his throat. In that moment, everything else faded away, the pressures, the warnings, and the disapproving glances from council members. All that mattered was the love they shared. As Lyrava reached Alex, they exchanged vows filled with heartfelt promises. Their voices blended together, echoing throughout the hall as they declared their commitment to each other. It was a moment of pure joy, a moment that seemed to defy all odds. But just as they were about to share their first kiss as a married couple, the joyous atmosphere shattered. An alarm blared through the council hall, and red lights flashed ominously. Confusion erupted as the guests turned toward the source of the alarm. "What's happening?" Lyrava gasped, her hand clutching Alex's arm tightly. "We're under attack!" a voice shouted from the back of the hall. Panic spread like wildfire. Council members scrambled for safety, and the peaceful ceremony turned chaotic. Alex quickly turned to Lyrava, determination in his eyes. "We need to get you to safety!" No! I won't leave you, she insisted, her voice steady despite the chaos. We face this together. Just then, the doors burst open, and a group of armed attackers stormed into the hall. They were a coalition of dissidents from various planets, angered by the union of a human and a Xynari. They believed this wedding would disrupt the balance of power within the council and sought to stop it at any cost. "Stop the wedding!" one of the attackers shouted, raising a weapon. The crowd gasped, fear gripping everyone. In that moment, Alex felt a surge of protectiveness for Lyrava. "Get back!" he yelled, stepping in front of her. His training kicked in, and he began to assess the situation. He spotted the nearest exit, but the attackers were closing in fast. "Everyone, stay calm!" he shouted to the crowd, trying to maintain order. "We need to evacuate!" Lyrava's voice rose above the chaos. "Together we can fight back." She reached for the communicator on her wrist, her expression fierce. "We need to alert security forces! They must know we're under attack!" As she activated the communicator, the attackers turned their attention to them. Alex felt adrenaline rush through his veins. He grabbed a nearby ceremonial sword, its blade glinting in the emergency lights. "We'll protect our love," he declared, his voice strong. Lyrava, inspired by his bravery, picked up a decorative staff from a nearby display, ready to stand beside him. They faced the attackers together, a united front against those who sought to destroy their happiness. The first attacker lunged at Alex, and he swiftly dodged, striking back with the sword. He felt the weight of the moment, knowing he was fighting not just for their lives, but for their love and their future. Lyrava defended herself with the staff, her movements fluid and graceful. She fought with a strength that surprised even her, proving that she was not just a diplomat, but a warrior in her own right. As the battle unfolded, the sounds of clashing echoed through the hall, mixing with the alarm bells. Alex's heart raced as he fought beside Lyrava, each swing of the sword a testament to their love. They knew that their wedding was supposed to be a day of joy, but they were willing to turn it into a day of defiance. Suddenly, security forces burst through the doors, reinforcements arriving just in time. The attackers were quickly overwhelmed, but not before a few managed to flee into the depths of the council headquarters. The battle was fierce but brief, and as the dust settled, the couple stood together, breathless but unbroken. Lyrava turned to Alex, her eyes filled with determination. "We will not let them take this from us." With their hands tightly clasped, they faced the remnants of the celebration, knowing that their love had not only survived, but had also grown stronger in the face of adversity. Together, they would continue to fight for their future, no matter the challenges that lay ahead. In the aftermath of the chaotic wedding attack, the council hall stood in ruins, but the spirit of Captain Alex Carter and Ambassador Lyrava was unbroken. As the dust settled, they held each other tightly, their hearts pounding not just from fear, but from the realization of what they had achieved together. The love that had brought them to this moment had also fueled their courage in the face of danger. Once the security forces secured the area, Alex and Lyrava took a moment to breathe. Their wedding had turned into a battle, but they were still standing together. The guests, shaken but alive, began to gather around them, their faces reflecting a mix of concern and admiration. "Are you two all right?" one of the council members asked, his voice trembling. "We are," Lyrava replied, her voice strong despite the chaos. "But we must take a stand now. We cannot let fear dictate our future." The council members exchanged nervous glances. They had witnessed the love between Alex and Lyrava blossom, and now they had also seen the lengths they would go to protect it. The attack was not just an attack on them. It was an attack on the very idea of unity between species. As the discussions began, Alex stepped forward, feeling the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. "This attack was not just about us," he addressed the gathered crowd. "It was about the fear that exists between our worlds. We need to come together now more than ever." Lyrava joined him, her hand firmly clasped in his. "Our love is a symbol of what can be achieved when we unite. We can show the galaxy that humans and Xynari can coexist and thrive together." One of the older council members, a Xynari known for his wisdom, raised his voice. "You speak the truth, Ambassador. We must not allow a few voices of dissent to ruin what could be a beautiful future for our people. Your marriage represents hope, and it is time we embrace it." The council was silent for a moment, considering his words. Then, slowly, other members began to nod in agreement. The atmosphere shifted, filled with a newfound determination. "Let us organize a council meeting with representatives from all species," another member suggested. "We can create a new treaty, one that promotes peace and cooperation." Alex and Lyrava exchanged hopeful glances. This was what they had envisioned, a chance for change, a chance for unity. They both knew that it wouldn't be easy. There would still be those who resisted. But they also knew they had each other and the strength of their love to guide them. As the council meeting was set into motion, Lyrava proposed a plan to hold a grand ceremony, this time a true celebration of unity among the species of the galaxy. "We can invite everyone," she suggested. "We can show the galaxy that love can conquer hate." Days turned into weeks as they worked tirelessly to prepare for the ceremony. The council decided to hold the event on Zenari's home planet, a lush world filled with vibrant colors and exotic plants. The date was set, and invitations were sent to every corner of the galaxy. Finally, the day arrived. The skies were a brilliant blue, and the air buzzed with excitement. Creatures of all shapes and sizes filled the grand amphitheater, and banners flew high, symbolizing peace and unity. Alex and Lyrava stood at the forefront, ready to address the crowd. As they stood together, Lyrava took a deep breath and began to speak. "Today is not just a celebration of our love. It is a celebration of our shared future. Together we can build bridges between our worlds, learning from one another and growing as one." Alex stepped forward, his heart swelling with pride. "Let us show the galaxy that love knows no boundaries. Let our union be a beacon of hope, a reminder that we are stronger together." Cheers erupted from the crowd, filling the air with joy and enthusiasm. In that moment, Alex and Lyrava felt the weight of their journey lift. They had faced fear, chaos, and doubt, yet here they stood, a symbol of hope and resilience. As they exchanged vows once again, this time before the entire galaxy, the love that had begun in a small garden now radiated outward, inspiring others to embrace unity over division. Their love story had transformed into a movement, one that would echo through the stars. From that day forward, Alex and Lyrava became ambassadors not just of their worlds, but of a new era, an era where love triumphed over hate and unity became the foundation of peace. Together, they would continue to fight for a future where every species could thrive in harmony, guided by the light of love that had brought them together. In the heart of the galaxy, a new beginning had begun, and it was filled with endless possibilities.